Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Before I get into what I really want to talk about, I want to just say something about the Baltimore mayor spending $100,000 to bus kids to D.C. in order to talk about gun control and things like this. Because, of course, Baltimore's got to be flush with cash. The city that paid off Freddie Gray, his parents or family, almost $7 million for the death of Freddie Gray, a death that they created. But they spent $100,000 to send kids up to D.C. with gun control, with money that it has a better purpose. How many people in Baltimore are about to lose their homes that the government could theoretically help? Well, where could that money have gone? But that's not what I wanted to talk about. Before I even get into that, one of my friends tweeted, Stormy Daniels offers to pay back $130,000 for freedom to speak about Trump. Translation: someone offered the porn star a whole hell of a lot more money to speak about Trump. And that's likely the case. Larry Flint has said he would pay, a couple things. He said, I'll pay $1 million to anybody that would get dirt on a senator, and that he did get dirt on. Then he says, I'll pay $1 million for any congresswoman who wanted to pose nude in Hustler. I don't know if there's any of them you'd want to see. And then he said he'd pay $1 million to anybody that had dirt on Trump. And no takers. So apparently Stormy wants to trade in her $130,000 she got from whomever and now say, I can make this $1 million from Larry. Larry Flint. Smut King. Oh well. It leads me into the next discussion of what I wanted to talk about, which is a new tax. And I've told you guys, I said the Democrats sit around thinking up ways to tax you. I'm telling you, it's innovative. They did a tennis shoe tax in Chicago. They said, we're going to build a new facility and it's going to cost $2.1 million. How can we pay for it? And somebody goes, I don't know. Well, maybe we could, hey, how about a sneaker tax? That'd be a great name for it, but they called it the tennis shoe tax. And they said, we'll charge, I don't remember what it is, but like 50 cents per pair of shoes to pay for this facility. $2.1 million. And somebody asked, well, who buys tennis shoes? It's supposed to pay for a youth facility. Who buys tennis shoes? Youth? So the youth will be paying for their own facility, which I'm not saying I'm necessarily mad about. But here's what I can tell you. When they collect the money to pay the tax and they've paid it to pay for the facility and they've paid it off, they're going to keep the tax. And whatever they collect after that is going to go into somebody's slush fund. Somebody makes note of every project that ends and goes, hey, we got $2 million coming in now every year. Let's figure out what we want to do with this. That's how it works. So anyway, they think about taxes. When they raised the price of gasoline so high, people stopped driving as much. How will we get revenue? I don't know. Do we need to raise the taxes and gasoline more? So then they go, well, you know what? We've gotten rid of these gas guzzlers and people's use of oil has gone down. So raising the taxes on that isn't going to help. But if we can get them to drive more, we'll do a drive tax, like how far you've traveled. Forget the gas. I just want to know how far you've traveled in your car. And forget roll tolls and things like this. And ask yourself, who gets hurt? The poor people. I jokingly said in Florida, you can't be poor and be on a Florida road because they'll put you on a toll road in a second. You'll be panicked. Anyway, there is a new tax out there. Rhode Island residents will have to pay a $20 fee to access sexually explicit content online if a recently introduced bill passes the General Assembly this session. The bill was introduced by Senator Frank Ciccone, Democrat out of Providence, and Senator Hannah Gallo, Democrat out of Cranston. It would require internet providers to, quote, digitally block sexual content and patently offensive material. But consumers could deactivate the block for a fee of $20. Each quarter, the internet providers would give the money made from the deactivation fees to the state's general treasurer, who would forward the money to an attorney general to fund the operations of the Council on Human Trafficking. So this is an attempt to save people from human trafficking. You think the government would tell you 100% of the money, the proceeds that we raise are going to go into saving against human trafficking? If online distributors of sexual content do not comply with the filter, the Attorney General or consumer could file a suit of up to $500 for each piece of content reported but not blocked. So who's going to benefit here? First of all, who determines what is patently offensive material? Because that's what it is. Sexual content and patently offensive material. And then who came up with $500 as the price for each piece of content? I always wanted to know. I want to sit in a room and say, well, if you do that, the ticket alone is going to cost you $75. Why? Why 75? Why not 100? Why not 25? Well, Kevin, we're trying to deter people. Well, then make it 1,000. That's a pretty big deterrent. We've got to be reasonable here, Mr. Jackson. Yeah, well, reasonable for one man is maybe unreasonable for another. Why is it that it's arbitrary? It's the $20 block fee. It's arbitrary. Is that based on some study? Why not make it $19.95? That way it doesn't reach that magic 20, which people, I get a rebate back from my 20. I get a whole nickel. They do it at $19.95. Crazy? Another lame brain idea. And all it's going to do is force people to go get a URL in China or somewhere offshore and access it from that. Pretend that you don't live in whatever state, in this case, Idaho, and the rest is history. Yeah, it just cracks me up. What else we got? I don't know. It's a porn tax. My producer's telling me, mention porn tax. It's a porn tax. It's a tax on sexuality. Look, I couldn't even tell you I don't even remember the last time I searched for porn on the internet. And here's what I will tell you. It was to do research, truly. I know people are out there going, yeah, sure, Kevin. Sure it was, buddy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, just look, if I was looking for porn on the internet, I would tell you. For my own personal satisfaction. I would just go, yeah, so the other day I was out, had nothing better to do, so I searched porn. But I don't care about it. So I know if I was looking up any porn, it would have been because I was doing a story on something. And the other thing I don't like about it is if you ever do search for anything that's pornographic, everything after that, all your ads are like, hey, want to hook up with Russian babes? Hey, want to hook up with Puerto Rican babes? Hey, want to hook up? Hey, here's this. Check out the girls here. Hey, there's a strip club near you. Turn here. It becomes so pervasive on your system that you can't even have your kids come looking it over your head on your computer. They'll think you're a total horn dog, No, I'm not looking. I'll use somebody else's. I'll go to the library and look. You're not going to have that stuff popping up on my computer. A porn tax, folks. Come on. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but porn tax. This is what leftists spend their time on. They put the cafe standards for cars. They got more people killed because they said you got to meet the mileage restrictions of all these cars. So they, the car manufacturers said, well, we got to take some steel out. We got to go to composites, et cetera, et cetera. And it may hold the car together, but in a wreck, I want steel around me. Not saying I have it right now because I don't. I remember those big old cars. My uncles drove them. My grandfather drove a car like that. You felt safe. It was big. And it was probably a gas guzzler. Probably got 12 miles to the gallon. I don't know. Honestly, it didn't seem like we filled up any more than we do today. When they tell us we get 35 to 40 miles per gallon on these cars. But anyway, the notion, the arbitrariness of these bills that get introduced, these taxes that they want to charge, these supposed things that they want to fix that never get fixed, and suddenly you just got to charge for everything that you do. Why is it only for looking up porn? What if they go, no, we want this if you're looking up vacations, because who wants to take it? Whoever can afford a vacation should have to pay a luxury tax to view vacations. Who are they to prohibit people from getting access to something that everybody else should be able to get access to or has access to, but because what's funny is it doesn't suit what they would say for civilized society, they want to get rid of it. And I'm being serious when I ask the question, what else can they go for? What else do you like that they go, oh, we're going to charge you for that too?
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.